Hello, Flosstube. Um, my name is Elizabeth Martinez, phantastitches, and this is my Flosstube update number 225. Excuse me, I've got something in my eye. Today is Saturday, March 19th, 2022. So, halfway through the month of March, I had to tease my sister, Naomi, about the phrase beware the Ides of March, because on the 15th of March she had just all kinds of mishaps, both great and small, and just had a very bad day on the 15th. So it was indeed, beware the Ides of March. But I got through the Ides of March pretty much unscathed. And so now, as of the 19th, halfway through the month, and it's going pretty well. As far as WIPGO goes, and I don't think I really had any haul at all this week. So I anticipate this update being relatively short. So I spent really this week just working on my WIPGO goals, because I had 10 days for each of my WIPGO projects, and the one was a WIP and the other was a new start, combined with my goal of working on one of the rabbit charts each month, beginning in February, to hopefully finish them all by the end of the year. So I'm making some progress toward that goal. But so one of my WIPGO goals was to do 10 days on this winter gathering chart. We talked about it last week. The birds on a wire with their Christmas stockings. This is by Kim Martin for Dimensions. It's a Dimensions kit. So I met my goal. My WIPGO goal. I really kind of, there's part of me that just wanted to keep stitching on this, because I'm actually very close to finishing it. So when I started, I had this this center bird, all finished, and most of this second bird done. A lot of it done, apart from like these two light green spots on his hat, and then the lower part of his body here I had not done. But then I did that, and I went ahead and did these other two birds. And apart from the back stitching that helps define, their bodies and their feet and all that, they're done. Those 4 birds are done. And so then I started on these other birds. I think there's this one, 1, 2, and there's a third bird over here. So there's 3 on this side. And I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, these are all their stockings. There's 2 there that are missing, the other colors in here. And then they all have some back stitching and French knots and things like that. And, yeah. And then the trees, I still have to do half stitches. There's 2 colors. There's this lighter color and this darker color. They're both blended colors. And then there's white, here they're little snowdrops, little individual stitches. And I did a few of them. They're a little bit hard to see because it's white on the light blue cloth here. And some of them will show up a little, better with the trees, and some of them are just like, I think these here are just by themselves. So, so yeah. like here, you can see, I think there's one that's on the tree there, right there, maybe two. But yeah, so, and like I said, there's another shade of these half stitches. And then there's some stitches up at the top, up here, some green fronds from green back stitching and some other white stitches and stuff like that. So, but anyway, so that's 10 days on this winter gathering. So that goal, that WIPGO goal, is met, and the stitching itself is just that much closer to being finished. It's 2/2 using kit threads and kit Ada cloth. And then, so that was one goal. So my second WIPGO goal was 10 days on any new start, and so I used that as an opportunity to work on the March rabbit. So I, basically killed two birds with one stone. My WIPGO goal of working on anything for 10 days, any new start for 10 days, and my personal goal of trying to do all the ink circles rabbit charts for the year. So this is the March one. There's 3 little white rabbits and these coneflowers and tulips. And I have done everything except there's this desert rose red light color within the with this darker color, and then the evergreen color for the stems and leaves of the flowers. So this is how far I've gotten. And like I said, I have that lighter color that goes in these blank spots of this flower. I did this one. You can just make out the lighter color here, and I did some along these flowers. This flower and this flower are finished, and so this one is the same as the color that's missing here. That's the color I'm working on now. And then that green color for the stems and leaves of these flowers, and I'll be done. So 10 days is, I think, Monday or Tuesday coming up, and if I work diligently, I should be finished with this and meet the 10-day goal. And that'll be March finished. I still have February to go. The February rabbit I didn't work on. I didn't finish it last month because I wanted to I wanted to meet the winter cross stitch camp goal, which I did, barely squeaked by. And my two WIPGO goals I did not meet. I just missed them by like 2 days each. So if I finish this in the next couple of days, I have time to work on the other those other 3 projects: the Voyage of Discovery, the Peacock, and the February Rabbit. I have time to work on those and get them finish the goal, the 10 days for the other 2, and then finish the February rabbit. So I think I'm doing pretty good. I really like that. And I was talking. My sisters and I recorded our 3 Sisters creative video for this weekend. We recorded it earlier today, and we were joking about that I have a lot of patterns that I've purchased recently. I last weekend I talked about I think I had bought like 11 new patterns, you know, between the things I purchased at the attic and I think one or two things that I bought online. One, I guess, and a whole bunch of just odds and ends and stuff. I just bought a lot of stuff for FFOing and new patterns and things like that. And so I was talking with my sisters about, like, you know, I have what they call Sable, right? Stash acquired beyond life expectancy. Because, like, you know, I'll see all these new patterns, like, oh, I want to stitch that. Oh, I want to stitch that. Oh, I want to stitch that. And so, you know, you want to stitch all the things, right? And so, what I'm thinking about doing, you know, I've resisted the idea, the urge to, like, do as many people do for Mania. They do like 31 new starts, right? They may only stitch like you know, one strand or something to start a project, but they will stitch 31 new projects. So I'm thinking about that for May. You know, I've done Mania, I want to say 3 years, maybe 4 years. I think 2018 was the first year I did Mania, and maybe it was 2019. I don't know, but I think the first time I did it, I did one of those years. I did a WIP Mania because and at the time, I guess I had a whole bunch of WIPs, but I only did, I think, 9 of them. So it must have been 2018. I did 9 the first, you know, the first 9 days, and then the second 9 days of 2018. So I did 18 days. So the second 9 days, I just did them in reverse order. So I did 18 days, but only 9 whips with 2 days on each whip, right? And actually it was probably the apart from the 4 tall ship patterns that I have, they were some of the ones that I had that I'm still working on now. And then the next 2 years, I did what I called Ship Mania. So the 4 tall ship patterns that I have, the Voyage of Discovery that you've seen here, and I have 3 other ones. I did them all on this, you know, similar fabric that I dyed, and blah blah blah. So I did a week or so on, I think, on each one. So the 4 weeks of May, basically 4 weeks, I spent a week working on each of those 4 charts. Didn't get all that far because I was starting from scratch basically on all of them. But, you know, I made some progress, and I think I did those same ships the second year. And I don't think I worked on them any at all in the meantime. And so, and then I think last year I did WIP Mania again. But anyway, so yeah, because I think I only did 1 day on each of the whips that I had, or whatever, something like that. So, so since I'm doing WIPGO this year, so I'll be working on whips basically to some degree at least all year long. So for May, I may do Mania and just like start a whole bunch of new things because I want to. And I don't know what will be called for May, obviously, for WIPGO, but try to work that in along with whatever, whatever I decide to do for Mania this year. I'm still thinking about it. So if I do that, I have to decide on basically 31 charts, and I have to find fabric for each of those. So that to me is the most challenging part is finding fabric to do each one on, each thing on. Whether it's, I have some fabrics that I've dyed just randomly on my own, and then I think probably I would dye fabrics specifically for whatever charts I decide to do during that time. So that's a definite possibility. The other thing I was doing, I have worked a little bit on the and I don't have it here with me now. I talked about, I think about this old, when did I do it? About a month ago in February. This old pattern that I have, that I was redoing it because the alphabet that I had used was something I had taken from another chart, and I didn't want to, use somebody else's idea. So I redid the alphabet, and I kind of like it because it's smaller. It doesn't take up as much room as what I had before. But it's a little on the modern side, not as sort of old-fashioned looking as what I had used before, but I still like it. So I'm still working on redoing my I don't know if you call it a sampler, my setting of the hymn, "Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing." And what images I want to use and what images I want to change or whatever. So I'm still working on that little by little. And but the other thing I had worked on, and I was trying to get a good printing of this, but I don't know all the tricks yet of how to, I had designed it on a black fabric. So I was able to do that in PC Stitch, but when it came time to print it, either I'm missing something or whatever, but I couldn't print the black background, and because it's white stitches on a black background, it when I was trying to do colored blocks, it wasn't showing up that way. It was the white stitches were not showing up. So anyway, so this is a glimpse of it. That shows the grid, so I don't want to show it too closely, but looks like this. And it's a lamb holding a cross. And this is an image actually from our old family Bible, the front of our family Bible. But the pastor at my church had mentioned this phrase, coram Deo, coram, C-O-R-A-M, Deo, D-E-O. And that means before God, in the face of God, whatever. Basically, it's talking about living your life, as you would before God, so that you're not trying to hide anything as if you could. But anyway, so I like that idea, and I'm working on, like I said, this image. And I don't know, I may do a different thing. I like this image that I chose, but I don't know if I like it with that phrase, or I might do something else with that phrase, coram Deo, and do something else with this image. I don't know. I'm working on that. And I have some other ideas in my head for things I want to work on as far as design images. I'm just not. It just takes me a while to think that through those things because um, I'm. I want to say I'm fairly crude at designing. I'm not. It doesn't come easily to me, so it's something I'm still working on. So anyway, that's kind of where I am this month. And like I said, hopefully I will finish that rabbit design in the next couple of days. If not, like today and tomorrow maybe. And that'll give me time to, maybe by next Saturday I will have finished the February one as well, the February rabbit. We'll see. But I want to say that's all. Let me think through. Let me think for a minute. I think that's all I have right now. Yeah, I think that's it. So, I just had, as I was getting ready to do my update, saw that I was up to like 280 something subscribers. So, less than 20 away from that 300 mark. So if you're not a subscriber yet, I wish you would. And if you know anybody who might enjoy this channel, talking about cross stitch and whatever, who might be interested in it, let them know and have them subscribe too. I'm happy to have any subscribers that I have had a couple of new subscribers add on just in the past few days, and I certainly appreciate that. So I'm hoping to do some kind of giveaway when I hit that 300 mark. So keep plugging away at it. So I think that's gonna be all. It's a very, very short video this week, because I've just been working on those two things. So we'll see where we are next week. All right. So yeah. Oh, I did order some stuff from 123 Stitch. So I'll probably get it today or tomorrow or Monday, because that's the way it always goes. I'll sit there and I'll talk about it in my update and haven't received it, and then I'll get it in the mail like that day or whatever. But I was looking at the patterns that I talked about last week. A couple that had there was one from Lindy Stitches that was done with Threadworks flosses, and one the super, no, not the superpowers, maybe it is superpowers, I don't know, but there was one with a yeah, because it's a lamb standing on a little hillside, a sheep, stand, and anyway, the green, the grass of the hillside, I think it is done in Romy's Creations camouflage thread, and I think all the others are just DMCs, as I recall. But so I was looking online to see if anybody carried Romy's Creation threads and if they had that camouflage color. So there were some sites that carried Romy's Creations patterns, and but not the threads, and some that did have Romy's Creation threads, but they did not have that particular color camouflage. So I looked around at all of those and just could not find that color. Some places had camouflage in some other colors, like Weeks Dye Works or whatever, but nobody had the Romy's Creations color that I could find. So I will probably just choose another green fancy floss, probably because of the variegation, to use for that. But so I was looking for the Threadworks flosses, and 123 Stitch had them, and they also had some other patterns on sale. So I bought, I want to say 3 or 4 patterns. I bought the newest Cottage Garden, A Year in the Woods, I think it's called, series. You know, I had bought 3 of them, the fox, the swans, and the jackrabbit. And the one I have now is raccoon, a raccoon. And so I bought that, and I bought a couple of Mill Hill kits. That things that they were on, like all these things were on sale at 123 Stitch. I was like, oh yes, give me that, give me that, give me that. So I bought, I want to say at least 3, maybe 4 patterns, and then a whole bunch of all the Threadworks flosses for this particular chart. And I don't know if it may be something else. I don't remember. But so I'm waiting for that package to arrive. So that my haul is suspended, you know, until that order comes in. So that really is it. I think that's everything. So I will see you next week. Hopefully I'll have some more progress and all my haul will have come in. See. All right. Until then, happy stitching. Beware the Ides of March. Well, the Ides have already passed, so you know what has happened has happened. So I will see you next week. Bye.